go ahead, you stack that up with everything that you've had to deal with recently, and Jure with his wrist obviously couldn't go in the second half, and I guess the courage and the commitment the guys showed to get it into overtime first of all, and then to be very strong during the overtime session must have been incredibly pleasing for you.
We talk about our cultural compass. I said that last week and did say it again tonight. I gave a lot of credit to the skipper. Jure helped us hugely in the first half. It wasn't probably one of Jules' best first halves, but it was probably one of his most brilliant second halves I've seen anyone put together at both ends of the floor. But I think it's setting us apart to where we're heading is the highs and lows of our team are being eliminated. Even when there was 2.5 to get a score, to get us to OT, there was no panic. The guys ran the play, very well. In fact, that shot I thought was going to bobbled out, but then to hit the 2 free throws, I think that says a lot about our captain.
Did you say anything to Julian at half time? Because obviously, as you mentioned, it wasn't a great first half, but obviously lifted so much in the second and overtime. Is there anything that you did that contributed to the turnaround?
Probably I got the news that I was going to the States on the car right over here, so 32, probably my first half. My mind was elsewhere. Then Timmy spoke to me and Bruce spoke to me when we came off. It just got me in the right headspace again, and then I kind of flipped the switch and leave that till after the game.
Where are you going to the States?
I leave on Monday after the Townsville to go to a training camp for Golden State Warriors.
Brilliant. It was announced to Savo, and I think if I could add the team committee or parts of the team committee have met. He goes with the club's absolute best wishes and blessing. They see a real upside to it, as do the coaches, because we've been saying all along that if we can advance and help a player's career, that if these guys can achieve their career aspirations, and that's the NBA, then we have a responsibility to do that. And I thought it was phenomenal news. It was really pleasing. It is. It's a compliment again to Jules. And we announced it after the game, and the guys are absolutely tickled for this guy.
Julian, you mentioned it was perhaps a little bit distracting. Would it have been better to have found out tomorrow, perhaps?
I'm sure it would have been nice, but my agent couldn't hold the good news, so he told me on the car ride here, which probably wasn't the best idea, but it's all good now.
Jules was 0 of 6 in the first half. You were getting murdered inside, 28 to 14 points in the paint, and yet you were only down by 4 points. Did you feel like the fact that you knew Julian, was not going to be held down forever, that was a positive to be as close as you were, despite the fact they probably, you'd agree, did outplay you in the first half?
I think I said at half time, I said, we're in this, it's amazing we're only 4 points down. They're a free-flowing team. They obviously got a lot of points off transition, which was a concern. We were a lot better in the second half. We weren't obviously perfect. But they're just a contrasting team to what we had last week. But I thought we had some really, really good plays. Even in the first half, our offense was good. Defensively, we had a lot of work to do, and that the playing group really identified it. I'd come in and they'd already worked out what we needed to do. It was good.
And obviously you talk about Julian, obviously the catalyst. About Bose and Aaron Bruce both had massive games, arguably their game of the season.
Aaron Bruce was brilliant.
Yes. And
I'd have to say I actually predicted that Anatoly would have a breakout game. That's why I brought him into the starting group. I had a feeling. Mike saw him train the other day and he was unstoppable. And his grandparents are here from New York, so he had another, there are a number of factors. So those guys obviously complimented Jules. I thought Magin had a solid game. Lukey Martin again put another really good game together. Cooper limited minutes but did what was asked. So across the board, this is a nice group.
And obviously, you headed to uncharted back-to-back wins. What are your thoughts ahead of Sunday? And normally you come off a week with fever, a couple of wins. You go with the wind in this out a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. We said for the first time in a year and a half we can get to the positive. We can get a 7-6 record. But to be honest, if we just stick to our process of just trusting one another and working hard, I'm confident the result will come. We match up very well against Townsville. Eddie Gill's a good player. Mims was a good player. Crawford and Seed will shoot the ball at a drop of a hat. But I do believe we've got a significant advantage inside again. And we've got 2 days to get ourselves, that's the bad news, 2 days to get ourselves ready and go up there. Because we owe Townsville. We lost to them up there twice last year and they beat us twice here. So we've got a bit to prove.
And Julian, obviously, last game before you head off to Golden State, special game, you're going to be sending ominous warning to Townsville. You're going to go out with a bang.
I'd like to think so, though. Just give everything I have. It's lucky that it fell on that weekend that we don't have the game, so I don't actually miss any games for the Kings, which makes me extremely happy, because then it would have been obviously an extremely tough decision for myself to leave these guys, because we've grown so close together now, and to leave them halfway through the year wouldn't be fair.
What's the situation if you impress them and they offer you a contract? Would you have to leave at some stage?
Well, I don't know too much, to tell you the truth. I only got the phone call on the way here, but there's a certain amount of guys that they're bringing in vying for a very limited amount of spots. So the very minimum is I go over there and get an extremely good experience, come back here and be a better player, and then go from there.
Julian, in the second half, you agree that was one of your best performances, one of your best halves?
I was probably the most aggressive I've been in a while. As far as shooting the ball, I probably still missed a couple of easy sitters, which I could have made. I was happy with the rebounding and stuff like that, but you can always improve.
You're happy with 21 rebounds?
What have you been doing with Aaron Bruce? I mean, obviously he probably underachieved a little bit at Adelaide, better than most, but he's been a consistent playmaker, backcourt leader for you there. What's been the spark for him this year?
Giving him the trust of the team. Nothing more than that.
Yep.
I trust him to run our club. And he's responded.
The whole atmosphere tonight, you noticed 3,000 odd people standing like 20 odd thousand people. How does this win sit for you this year? Is it just about the best? You're not the most enjoyable win, I would say.
I don't call it enjoyable. I wasn't sure whether I should look at your free throws or not. And then I thought, no, he's been shooting them well. Look, I don't know how many people there were. It says 3-6 here, but they were very, very noisy. 3-6,
When I made that first
shot, it was like the roof came off. I mean, it was a great game. I don't know, 20 odd lead changes or something. It was a real arm wrestle. They'd be very disappointed, But we've been on the end of those too.
There was a few of them last year. There's no advice, so we'll take our wins.
But they rode in just to get into overtime.
Well, Warren hit that. That was a massive shot because he shot it over 2 players. He shot it over Dan and Bruce. I mean, that was a massive shot.
With his hand on the ball.
He says he got a piece of it.
Yeah. So it was Graham actually knocked it in there. It's his fault. But, even though it went in, there was no panic. We ran a fairly simple play. We went to Julian inside, great spin move.
Thanks, guys.
Well done.
Thank you.